Did you see Travis Head in the cricket? I did. It's pretty good. Encourage everybody else to look at it as well. Australia well placed to win the World Test Championship. That's not what we're here for, though. We're here to talk about everything jobs and employment throughout Australia. And this is P2P Live, and my name's Mark Smith. And I am Group Managing Director of People to People in Australia and the UK and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. We have a lot to talk about today. There's so much going on in the jobs market in Australia. I thought this week we'd take a look at some single touch payroll data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics that they get from the ATO on the number of jobs or the number of people that are being paid every single week. It's like real-time data. So we'll take a look at that. We've got two hot jobs here in Australia. We've also got opportunities, one in New Zealand and one in the UK. And we're going to find out from 𝐦𝐢𝐝, from our HR solutions team, how is it that employers can really help to avoid burnout in their employees when there's so much work going on at the moment. And finally, we've got our Twitter poll from last week. So a lot to get through. Let's get started with this week's stat of the week. So I thought I'd explore some interesting real-time data. So the Australian Bureau of Statistics actually reports something called payroll jobs. And so what you're looking at on the screen here is a graphical representation of the monthly percentage change in payroll jobs throughout the different regions in Australia. So let me just tell you what payroll jobs are. So it refers to the number of jobs paid for during a particular period. These jobs are based on data obtained from Single Touch Payroll System, which is an electronic reporting system used by employers to report their employees' payroll information to the ATO in real time. So people to people, for example, we've got over 1,200 contractors. Each week we report that back to the ATO via Single Touch Payroll. So if you compile all that information into for all of businesses throughout Australia, then you get to know how many people get paid. And that's what we're looking at here. So we're actually looking at the monthly change here. And the good news is that it's the darker the green, the higher the increase or the number of people that got paid in the last month as compared to the month before. So you can see that the areas that were strongest were Queensland, Northern Territory. The weakest areas were Adelaide, South Australia regions, the Sydney metro area, and the Tasmanian regional area. To give you a bit of an idea of what some of these numbers are, though, so for example, Northern Territory, 0.9% increase month on month. Queensland, 0.9% increase. For New South Wales as a whole, that includes the Sydney region, 0.3. The weakest was South Australia and the ACT at 0.1. But year on year, these areas are up quite significantly. So the highest increase year on year is the Northern Territory, 5.4%, followed closely by WA on 5.2. I know we are struggling in WA to find talent. There's a lot of employers who are trying to encourage the move across the Nullarbor, and that's represented in this single touch payroll data. So highly interesting. And I've just got a message now from Lisa on Facebook saying, what does the Sydney metro area, does it cover Western Sydney? Yes, it does. It is the metropolitan area as far west as the Blue Mountains and down to the edges of Wollongong and up to the Central Coast. And fewer people were paid. But in Queensland and Northern Territory, it is moving along very quickly. And that's this week's Stat of the Week. And I'd encourage, I'll explore this a little more by industry next week. So we'll see where are all these jobs. Okay, that's it for this week's Stat of the Week. Here are the hot jobs this week in Australia. Now, by the way, we've already seen a comment from Lisa on Facebook. We are live now on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And if you have any comments or questions, we can respond to them straight away. And indeed, you can apply for these jobs via the comments in or on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Here's the first job. It's a customer care consultant. It's based in Mascot here in Sydney. And what we're looking for is somebody who, for a 6-month period, to work with this organization to resolve up to 100 inbound calls in an efficient and effective manner, and to provide clear communication and assistance for their customers. General office duties as well. So if you've had experience as a customer service person in the security sector, this job is for you. And ideally, you've come from a high volume call center environment. And the person you need to speak to is Julian, and he's in our Sydney team, julian@people2people.com.au, or give him a bell, 82709704, or simply hit apply now in the comments, and you can find out more about this particular hot opportunity. Here's the next one. And it's another job in Sydney. It's a sales rep. It's Rianne is the consultant that you need to speak to. So Rianne at people2people.com.au. You can see her email address on screen. What you'll need to do for this one is to build positive relationships with a diverse base of customers, identify and seize new business opportunities. They have a very strong technical or technology base from which you can undertake or pursue those particular leads. And you'll need to be motivated and enthusiastic and have a passion for technology to be successful in this particular sales rep role. 90K. Hit apply now in the comments, or simply give Rianne a call on 82709792. They are the 2 hot jobs in Australia this week. It's a bit cold outside. Weather's better in London at the moment. Maybe you can go to the cricket, or you can jump onto this particular job. It's a legal secretary role, paying £40,000 to £45,000 a year, and it's based in London. So you'll be providing admin support to attorneys, paralegals, and legal professionals, preparing documents and correspondence. Also handling, communication on whatever channel, so emails, phone calls, etc. You need to have experience as a legal secretary and been within a law firm as a legal secretary to get a look in on this particular opportunity in London. You need to contact Hannah Scanlon at people2people.co.uk is her email address, or give her a call on the number on the screen, or simply you can just hit apply now in the comments, and you can find out more about this particular role. If you're a working holiday maker returning home, get in touch with Hannah. Maybe she can help you out, not with this one, but with another opportunity. Or if you're looking to go on a working holiday yourself, if you're an Aussie or a Kiwi, then get in touch with our London team. They can help you secure that role before you get off the plane. So we do have another opportunity, though, internationally, and that's with our sister company, Frog Recruitment, across the ditch in New Zealand. And I think we've got a video for that one. Please roll that one, Jacob.
Kia ora. As a logistics coordinator at Striker, you get to work with actual surgical kits and have a mock operating theatre at your workplace to learn the inner workings of how these kits are used in surgeries. The role also offers excellent progression opportunities into various parts of the business. It's a rare entry-level opportunity to get into the healthcare equipment industry for someone who's passionate about it. Team at Striker is vibrant, competitive, and collaborative. Last but not least, Striker are a global brand with offices around the world. And this position offers an extraordinary opportunity for anyone who is passionate and highly competitive. If you are interested in the role, click apply or reach out to me on the information below.
Right. Well, we're going to talk about a topic that is top of mind at the moment because everyone is working hard. There's a lot more people in work. People have got side hustles. They're working more hours. How do you avoid burnout? Well, the person who's going to help us out here is 𝐸𝐲𝐝 from the HR Solutions team here at People2People. G'day, 𝐸𝐲𝐝. How are you?
I'm not too bad, Mark. How are you?
Well, I'm very excited about Travis Head's century. Boy, actually got 143. I don't know if you're a cricket fan, but clearly I am, and I should stop talking about it now and talk about preventing staff burnout. So what tips have you got for people?
Alrighty, so good afternoon, viewers. So as we know now, the topic for discussion of the week is preventing staff from getting burnt out. So as we enter into the second half of the year, we are starting to see the wear and tear of 2023 settle into employees. Especially with the increase of interest rates and alike, it is crucial that we provide and maintain employees with a healthy working environment and promote productivity. Burnt out employees can lead to decreased productivity, increased turnover, and decline in morale. So it is important that we address this issue. One step we can take into addressing this issue is creating a supportive work culture. So fostering an environment that values work-life balance and open communication. We can encourage breaks, set realistic expectations, and promote a positive atmosphere through team building activities and recognition of achievements. Another step we can take, Mark and viewers, into addressing this issue is offering stress management resources. So providing access to mental health services, stress management workshops, and mindfulness techniques to help employees effectively cope with stress. It can even be something as simple as asking if they're okay with their workload. Now, the final step we can take into addressing this issue is supporting a work-life balance. So promote flexible working arrangements like remote work or flexible hours, allow employees to control their schedules and prioritize self-care. We can also set boundaries to avoid excessive overtime. That's it, Mark, and that's it, viewers, from me. And what about yourself, Mark? What do you think on this issue? Is there anything else that you can add to this to prevent staff from burning out?
Well, just showing my age a little bit, it is such a dramatic change from what the world of work was like. So even just 10 years ago, if we went back 20 years, it's very different. Just around flexible working. I think if I had a tip for employers out there, and even for people who are in a job and they're feeling that they're approaching burnout, is communication is key. People need to communicate with their management team, and managers need to communicate with their team to understand if people are actually approaching burnout or not. Yeah. And then you can explore a lot of the options that you were talking about: team building, understanding, using flexible working arrangements. Like we've just had a comment on Facebook here that from Lisa saying some companies are demanding people to come back to work in the office. Do you expect this to impact employee stress? That's a very interesting question. I think there is not a direct relationship between whether somebody is burning out and whether they're working from an office or working from home. I mean, the reality is that 60% of Australian employees are actually working. They don't get the opportunity to even work from home anyway, simply because if you're a teacher, you don't work from home. If you're a bus driver, you don't work from home. So there's most employees don't do that. But I don't think there's a direct correlation between working from home and whether you're burnt out or not. It's really about the management of the tasks. And how you're actually managing that work. And I'm just gibbering on here, 𝐸𝐝. You asked me a question and now I'm talking too much. We're already at 15 minutes, but thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we'll get you back on again soon. And if anybody wants to have if somebody wants to have a chat to you about avoiding burnout or even just the HR solutions part of our business, what's the best number that they can get you on?
So you can get me on 041305 1365. The number is actually on the screen right now. You can also email me at 𝐸𝐝, which is spelled 𝐗𝐸𝐼𝐴, at people2people.com.au.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us. And let's move on now. And we've got this week's Twitter poll result, which I was very, very surprised by. So For those who resigned in the last 6 months, did you receive a counteroffer from your employer at the time? Well, 18%, 1 in 5. Is it 1 in 5? 1 in 6%, or 1 in 6 of those who did resign received a counteroffer, but 81% said no, they hadn't. There is a lot of talk around this in the jobs market at the moment. There are a lot of employers who are taking or initiating counteroffers to avoid staff turnover. Some to some effect, some to not. We had a whole discussion about this on last week's P2P Live. Look it up, hashtag P2P Live on all of the socials, and you can find that one. But I actually thought that number would be a little bit higher. Let's go to this week's poll. And it is, with the advancement of AI in the workplace recently, have you found it to be good, bad? Well, it's not really any different. So I should probably use the right language, beneficial or I can't even say that word. So let's go bad. And no difference at all. Hashtag P2P Live Australia. Vote on our socials at People to People and on LinkedIn. And that's it for this particular week, where I'm away on taking a break next week. So we'll have Catherine Kennedy, the Managing Director of New South Wales, who will be looking after P2P Live next week. I'm going to take the break. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time, but we'll be back here with P2P Live, same time next week, 12:30. Thanks, bye.